Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel, where today we dive into the unraveling lives of 7 pivotal women in Port Charles whose secrets, sins, and schemes are about to explode with devastating consequences. From blackmail plots to criminal confessions and sibling betrayals, each of these women stands on the edge of a cliff, one gust of fate away from total collapse. The first storm is brewing around Kristina Davis, a woman whose passion and impulsiveness have pushed her into a dire moral crisis. After a harrowing series of events, Kristina's reckless decision to sabotage a car, believing it belonged to her longtime adversary Ava Jerome, almost ended the lives of 2 innocent people, Rick Lansing and Elizabeth Weber. Kristina's target may have been miscalculated, but the ramifications of her actions were all too real, and the truth is inching its way to the surface. While she initially kept her involvement secret, new developments have made it nearly impossible for Kristina to escape unscathed. Lucky Spencer's discovery of the brake tampering and his knowledge of the blackmail plot against Alexis Davis is forcing the issue into the spotlight. Kristina is now faced with an impossible choice: continue to live under the weight of her guilt, or confess in an effort to protect her mother, Alexis, from the consequences of Ava and Rick's coercive schemes. But confession is only the beginning of Kristina's potential downfall. Legal consequences loom large, and psychiatric evaluation may point her straight toward Shadybrook, the local mental institution. Diane Miller may be her advocate in court, but not even the best defense attorney in Port Charles can shield Kristina from the emotional fallout that follows. Even if she avoids prison, the public revelation of her actions could destroy what little trust remains in her fractured family, especially with Molly. Molly Lansing Davis, already strained by previous conflicts with her sister, finds herself walking a tightrope between loyalty and betrayal. The wounds from the surrogacy fallout and the tragic loss of the baby are still healing, and just as she's regaining some semblance of normalcy, another bombshell threatens to detonate. If Molly discovers that her own sister nearly killed their father in a moment of rage and delusion, any reconciliation they've built could shatter permanently. The psychological impact of such a betrayal, especially from someone she once trusted to help carry her child, could send Molly into her own emotional tailspin. While Kristina's crisis deepens, Ava Jerome is fighting a war on a very different front. Her latest power play, a calculated blackmail scheme involving Rick Lansing and Alexis Davis, has given her temporary leverage, but at a steep price. Ava's manipulation of the situation, including her attempt to hide incriminating evidence and taunt Alexis with a mocking note, showcases her trademark boldness. However, Ava has underestimated the forces working against her. Damian Spinelli, a brilliant hacker and loyal ally to Alexis, is closing in with the kind of cyber expertise that can dismantle even the most well-laid scheme. And Lucky Spencer's growing involvement could turn the tide permanently against Ava. As the walls close in, Ava's financial empire begins to crumble. The wealth and luxuries she's enjoyed through deceit are at risk of vanishing. Without the continued flow of hush money, Ava faces foreclosure on her art gallery and repossession of her extravagant purchases. Her identity as a successful businesswoman, rebuilt painstakingly over the years, could evaporate in a flash. But the financial fallout is only the beginning of Ava's troubles. Sonny Corinthos, long a thorn in Ava's side and the father of their daughter Avery, will undoubtedly retaliate once he learns the truth. With his health stabilized after heart surgery, Sonny may re-enter the custody battlefield with renewed vigor, using Ava's blackmail tactics as grounds to revoke their shared parenting arrangement. Ava's past misdeeds have always haunted her, but this latest betrayal might be the one that finally costs her the right to raise her own child. The common thread tying these narratives together is Alexis Davis, a woman constantly forced to make impossible choices between ethics and survival. Caught between protecting her daughters and preserving her own integrity, Alexis is entangled in webs of manipulation spun by those closest to her. As she battles to neutralize Ava's threat without incriminating herself, Alexis risks losing her career, her reputation, and even her freedom. But she's not new to crisis. She's a fighter, and she may yet surprise everyone with how far she's willing to go to save herself and her daughters. These explosive storylines are not isolated incidents, they are intersecting catastrophes poised to cascade through the lives of the women at their centers. Each decision, each secret revealed, each truth that comes to light, creates a domino effect, toppling the carefully constructed facades these women have built to shield themselves from judgment and retribution. The stakes have never been higher for these 7 women. Kristina stands at the edge of criminal prosecution and emotional breakdown. Molly teeters on the verge of disowning the sister who once stood by her. Ava's empire is crumbling from the inside out, and Sonny's impending retaliation could be the death blow. Alexis fights to maintain control over a situation slipping rapidly from her grasp. But this is Port Charles, a town where redemption often walks hand in hand with destruction. Where every exposed secret is both an ending and a beginning. And as these women face the consequences of their actions, one thing is certain: the fallout will be spectacular, the heartbreak unforgettable, and the drama, as always, absolutely unmissable. Stay tuned as General Hospital plunges deeper into the lives of these complex, fierce, and deeply flawed women, each one fighting to survive the wreckage they helped create. Because in this town, no one's past stays buried forever, and no secret can remain hidden for long.